Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing okay today. Just going for my walk, but yesterday I had like another episode, and from now on I'm gonna remember to take my phone out with me because I think I should probably start documenting these. But when this stuff happens, I'm kind of like it's like a last minute, I can't take it anymore, and I wind up running outside to confront these dudes. Right? How are you? So listen. I had another episode yesterday where there was a dude outside in his car fighting with this chick, and it was so loud and it was so obnoxious, and like I know that I've pretty much figured out that this is my purpose, right? I pretty much figured out what my purpose is at this point. Because he wouldn't have put me through all of those things with those guys, you know, trying to physically put their hands on me and disrespect me and try to overpower me and fail. He wouldn't have put me through all of that if that wasn't part of my purpose. So I pretty much, I get it. Besides sharing my story with other people who have gone through similar things, this is my purpose. So this guy, you know, he's screaming in this girl's face, and I'm just, I can't take it. Like, I get to this point where I just get so like fucking, like I just want to kill somebody, right? And then I'm like, calm down, because then you're really not much better, you know, than them. So I wind up going outside, and I just sat out there for a while because I wanted to hear what he was saying to this girl. Because as I'm looking outside, I could see people passing by again. And people just ignore this shit. They ignore a man screaming so hard in a woman's face that his face literally looked like it was ready to pop off. And it just agitates me when I see dudes acting like this. I will never say man, because it's the furthest thing from a man when you do that shit. So I go outside, and I'm just sitting out there acting like, you know, I'm just sitting out there. And then she looks over at me, and, you know, they were an African-American couple. And I don't really like to even separate that shit, because to me, everybody's just a human being. I feel like they actually created that diversity a long time ago as a setup to just create divide between all of us. I don't believe in white, black, and Chinese and Latino. I just believe that people are people, and that's how I treat them. But I don't feel like, I say this because I don't feel like African-American women are used to any women defending them. Nevertheless, a white girl, you feel me? So, and it doesn't matter to me. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. That van said progress on it. That's another sign that I get when I'm saying the right thing, doing the right thing. This thing drives by throughout the day constantly, along with a cab company that says all threes on it. Threes are a spiritual number. So anyway, so I go outside and I look at her and I go, who the fuck does he think he is, that thinking he can speak to a woman like that? And she's like, right? So I get on his shit, and then I start telling him, I said, you know, it doesn't take much for somebody to actually think that they can overpower a woman, but you guys are here to protect women. I'm yelling this because I can't get a word in edgewise with this dude. Once I mentioned God, though, I said, you know who's going to wind up taking care of you the second that you pull away from here, though, cuz? God. I said, and the funny thing is that she's driving the car and you ain't got nowhere to go. So it looks like to me like you need her more than she needs you, which is usually the case with dudes like this. But somehow they'll manipulate women to think that they need them and they wouldn't be able to live without them. They're very good at manipulating these kinds of dudes, right? So be wary of that. So anyway, they wind up leaving, and I realized at that point how the karma works through us light workers. It was obvious to me that they were on like crack or something, but that's not for me to judge. That's not my point with the whole thing, because I've done things that weren't much different, okay? But I don't feel like God is really protecting us when we're more or less going to that side, because that's the side of his enemy, you feel me? I think it pains him and it hurts him, but I don't feel like we have the same protection from him that we would normally get if we were on the straight and narrow. So what happens is when you put a divine feminine, look up divine feminine, look up what they are, because we're kind of like warriors, but we're women, and we know how to balance our masculine and our feminine aspects, and we know when to use them and when to pull back. Some women are too masculine, and some are too feminine, and then the same for the masculines. You got to learn how to balance that shit. So anyway, what I said to him was, I realized that once he disrespects me, I call it out. I said, you are going to receive karma the second that you pull away from here, okay? Now, I don't know if they did. I don't need to know. Like I said, I don't go into an argument unless I know that I already won. And when I got him behind me, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. There is no competition because, like I said, these people don't understand. It's a principality that we are arguing with. It is like God against the devil working through us. What people don't understand is they get mad at us. You're fighting God, so it's a win-win for our side. You understand? But once I spoke out that God's got something for you because he's running this shit, not you. You got this shit all twisted. He definitely quieted down for a couple seconds because I don't think a lot of people are used to hearing God's name when it comes to women. I think a lot of women, like myself, forgot about him for a while. And this is just a constant thing that I see going on. I'm constantly seeing men disrespecting women and women disrespecting themselves to the point where you almost have to ask, like, why would a man even treat them with respect with the way that you're acting? But once we wake up and once we get our shit together and we realize our worth and how sacred we are in the spiritual realm and how we give life, we give birth to life, and without us there would be no life, you have a whole new outlook on the kind of power that you have. And it's not a power like you're trying to manipulate anybody. It's a power that you understand that if you call some shit out and say, this is going to happen to you, and you're on the straight and narrow and someone else on the other end is doing some shitty shit, it's going to happen. Like I said in the other video I made, we're judgers. We become judgers because somebody's got to do it through a vessel here. So anyway, I'm thinking about, like, I started getting into a conversation with my boyfriend after that. He came outside and I said to him, I really appreciate the fact that you didn't jump in because I don't ever want to put you in a situation where you have to feel like you got to throw down because it's never going to get to that. I'm never going to allow it to get to that. But if it did, I would rather take a hit and have that dude get locked up, and then just put a wrap on it. But it's like, as the scapegoat in the family, it's a different type of, like, bullying in the family. Because when you're the scapegoat, everybody's always highlighting what you do every time you fuck up, every time you make a mistake. And I had a dinner with my son the other night, and I was explaining to him a lot of things that a lot of times we don't see because even our parents as grandparents, because people think because they're older, respect your elders. Bitch, if you're coming at me sideways and you're 80, I can't just respect you if you ain't acting right. Even grandparents are very good at manipulating their grandchildren because I was under the impression that he was under the impression that they never could do any wrong because they're the grandparents until I told him a few things. I could see in his face that he was understanding my side of it. Because I wasn't around for a couple of years, he was only hearing one side, and it's very easy to get manipulated by that one side when that's all you're hearing. So, we had a really good conversation, like I said, we always do. And I know that he looked at things from a different perspective because that's kind of what it's all about. What perspective are you looking at things at? Now that you're awakened, you're going to be seeing things from a different perspective. You're going to appreciate the people who tried to attack you your whole life. You're going to appreciate even your enemies because you're going to understand that even they taught you a very valuable lesson. People are here to either show us examples of what we want to be like and what we don't want to be like, what we should be like and what we shouldn't be like. I've had both in my life, and I've been both. Like I said, I've been the bad example, and now I choose to be the good example. So I feel like the scapegoat in the family eventually becomes the escape goat. We wind up escaping from that whole group of feeling like we're less than, and we're always going to be whatever the label is they put on us, and you're never going to get them to admit the flaws on their side, so don't even wait for it. Do not sweat that shit. You will literally die sweating. You have to understand that it is a personality disorder. And once you understand the core of NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, some are sociopathic and psychopathic, right? Some of the real bad ones. Once you understand the core of that, everything that you're thrown into in every situation, you'll have these aha moments, and you'll see it. You'll be able to move forward in life in every situation. You won't be stuck thinking, why were they like that towards me? You know, what did I do? You're not going to have that anymore. You're going to be so free and freeing yourself with knowing, oh, it's because they don't see them as the problem. So if you don't see a problem, you can never fix it. You have to acknowledge a problem before you can even fix anything. It just makes sense. It's common sense, even though it's not so common anymore. It's probably the most uncommon thing I've come across in my lifetime is common sense. But once you understand that you're never going to get out of them unless they can benefit from you somehow. You know, if they can get something out of you, they will give you a fake apology, no doubt. But you're never going to get a genuine apology from a narcissist. You're never going to get a genuine apology from anybody who doesn't think that they have a problem to begin with. So I'm just putting this quick one out there. The scapegoat becomes the scapegoat, and we get out. And once we get out, we get freed because we're not waiting for apologies. We're not waiting for someone to say, well, I shouldn't have done this, because that shit will keep you so stuck in life, and it'll keep you down. You'll feel this weight on you. Walk away. And when you walk away, they are forced to look at themselves, because now you are not there. You are a mirror. Whenever we see something in somebody else that we don't like, it is because we are mirroring something that we don't like about ourselves. We see that in that person, and vice versa. It's so easy to get through things, I'm telling you, because most of the time when we're stuck in life, it's because of this reason. We can't figure out why somebody treated us the way that they did. We can't figure out why somebody doesn't want to apologize, even though we know we weren't in the wrong. Get yourself unstuck. I'm telling you. It's going to change your life, I promise you. So, with that being said, it's hot as shit. It's hot as shit out here today. I'm going back in the air conditioning, I ain't gonna lie. But I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you get outside for a little bit. I hope you guys are starting to like meditate and go onto some of those channels that I told you about. And that's it. I love you guys. We all have to stick together. There's like a huge gathering that's happening like all over on the planet, with all of these empaths, and all of God's light warriors are being gathered together. And it's going to be sad when we see our loved ones stuck in the 3D, because it's going to get bad here before it gets better. Love you guys. Have a great day. Out.